Welcome to the Patrick Riggins Show, tirelessly working each week to bring you a front seat on the lines of the battle for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. I am here each week to try and help educate in these three forgotten ideals of individual responsibility. Not like a lot of radio shows who forget these important principles when it is convenient to do so, or when it does not fit with their message of the day. Here we stubbornly stick to our libertarian foundation and learn to live and worry about our own personal lives and let others worry about theirs. And the radio station on which you listen to this antithesis of a daytime talk show is WNOX FM 100.3. We are currently being heard in parts of 5 of these great southeastern United States and both the eastern and central time zones. But if you'd like to watch us as well as listen to the show, you are in luck. Just go to www.wnoxfm.com. There you can tune into the audio and video feed from the live in-studio camera. That address again is wnoxfm.com. And normally at this time, we would say hello to our show producer, Tori, but he has absconded to a more southern part of the country. Now, I don't know if it had anything to do with the law enforcement officers that were here earlier in the day looking for him or not, but I guess we can ask him about that when he feels it's safe to return to Tennessee. So in his place, we have substitute Tori Shine.
Good morning, or good afternoon.
Yeah, you're still functioning on the morning.
That's right. I've been here for a while, but we're ready.
Ready to go. Ready with the show, yeah. And we're not going to be mad at Tori because he's lounging around in the sun on the beach.
Well, so, not too mad anyway.
Yeah. We'll just make him work double hard next week.
There you go.
I'll get all kinds of clips and everything running and just really screw him up. All right. Before we get started, I always want to thank you, the listeners to the show, who are helping make it a success. Without you, well, I guess I'd just be sitting here talking to myself and Shine. But luckily for me, you're tuning in greater and greater numbers each week. And I can only attribute that to your enthusiasm for this show and telling others to listen. I greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you out there. I think one of the reasons for this show doing so well out of the gate is that we are providing a voice to a point of view that is mostly missing from talk radio. Sure, there are conservatives doing shows that come close, but unfortunately, they drop the ball when it comes to the heavy lifting required on some issues. One thing I've noticed a lot of people talking about, but not really coming to the correct conclusion on, is why this country seems to be on the edge at the moment. Why everyone seems to be uncertain and wondering about what is to come. The simple answer is, and that is really what it is, nothing complex about it, is that government is taking such a huge role in the country these days that people feel as if they are losing control of their lives. To a certain extent, they are. That is a very, very unsettling feeling. The future does not seem to really offer much. We have a Democratic president running for re-election who is apparently committed to bankrupting this country. And the crazy thing is, everyone on both sides are pointing out that this is going to happen. We have a Republican presidential hopeful who apparently is committed to the same thing, just on a little bit longer time schedule. So we can either run out of money in the near future, or we can delay the inevitable for a little while longer, but still get to the same place. That, to an increasingly amount of people, is not really comforting. So what is the answer? What are we to do? Well, the worst thing we can do is to give up. We absolutely cannot do that. Our country is far, far too great to allow a bunch of big, intrusive government, or less big but still intrusive government types, to take this country from us. Our forefathers and foremothers fought and sacrificed so we could live in a free country. Not so some elected, self-appointed nannies and unelected bureaucrats could infringe on our freedoms and liberties just because they feel like they know more than we do about how we should live our lives. No, what we need to do is to hold these elected people and unelected bureaucrats they appoint accountable. The way to do that is to get involved in their lives. Since they feel like they need to know what we're doing 24 hours a day, we need to start watching them, and for an even better reason, they work for us. So, just like you would not hire someone to work for you and then not follow up to make sure they're doing their job correctly, you need to watch what your representatives are doing, not just at the federal level, but the state and local levels as well. When they are exceeding their authority or making bad decisions, you need to let them know it is wrong and, well, you're not going to tolerate it. Just calling into radio shows like this one or writing to the newspaper or complaining to your friends and coworkers, that is all well and good because it makes other people think, but you also need to be letting your representatives know as well. Let them know when they are doing something right, too. So if they're standing up for what is right, let them know you're behind them because they're under a lot of pressure to conform, to go along, to just do things like things have always been done. This is why so many people say one thing when they're running for office and then do something else when they get in. Now, partly is because some of these people have no principles, but part of it is good old-fashioned peer pressure. It is the people they're seeing every day, the lobbyists promising trips, jobs for their relatives, campaign money, and even outright bribes. And unfortunately, a lot of these people are not grounded enough to be confronted with this type of temptations and still hold firm. Knowing they have people in their district constantly watching them and letting them know they are veering off the right path, and even more importantly, letting them know when they are going the right way. They have a much, much better chance of following their principles and always voting for freedom and liberty. So why not today, not tomorrow, not later in the week, but today? Sit down and write or email your representatives to let them know what you agree with and what you disagree with. Either way, they will know one more person is taking note of what they're doing. And keep listening to this show as well and tell others about it so we can keep the torch of freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution alive and burning. We will be back with the rest of the show after this break. We will be talking about the Defense of Marriage Act, your health, and why the government cares. And here's no surprise, more government spending, along with your calls and anything else that might come up. This is Patrick Riggins with the Patrick Riggins Show. We'll be back after the break with the second segment of the show, and we'll have a lot more coming up.